Okay, g'day again. Right, this is the bracket I've just made up. I explained in previous video the way I'd mounted the sparing just wasn't going to work, so having to do it differently. And yeah, just welded a nut on the back of this bracket. It's just a bit of a cut off piece of angle bar, slightly more bend. It's going onto an original bracket that's yeah, it's had a bolt screwed through it, so I can put a nut on it. Alright, the other thing I've done is I said after I made this up, I positioned it onto the original bracket in place. I think I might have already showed that anyway. Drilled the hole through the fairing and then into the plate. So yeah, learnt whenever you can do that, like instead of drilling a hole in here and then, or drilling a hole in this and then trying to match it, yeah, drill both holes at the same time. Mount the piece in place, and then drill the hole through. Now I've widened that hole because this was a 6mm hole. I've now widened it to the specialised bolt that goes in here. So okay, bracket in place. Use a bit of Loctite on this nut. I don't want this to come undone ever. So this is a permanent thing. Okay. This is gelled, is it? Yep. Yeah, great. What happens? It solidifies on the end. Sometimes you can break it off, sometimes you got to get a needle. There we go. Yep, we got it. Alright, I'll put that on the bolt. You won't be able to see this, but okay. Some on the bolt, a bit of white. Okay, get this nut started. And the reason I'm doing this first is because of the angle that I bent the bracket at. You sort of have to pull the bracket forward a little bit because the end of the bolt is actually touching the bracket. So I've got to pull it forward a bit to get the nut started. Okay. I'm going to do it up finger tight from here. Right. This is the bolt I'm using. I'm hoping this is a spare, that I don't need it for the mudguard. So it's an original bolt. Because it's visible, I want an original bolt that matches the rest of the bolt. It's also got a like a dowel piece on it, a wider piece, yeah, so that I can tighten it up without it squashing the fibreglass. And I did, yeah, roughly check it. It's pretty much the right thickness for the fibreglass. So I'm going to get this lined up a bit. Put that in, because I've got Loctite on this, so I don't have time to be mucking around getting this done up. Right, so I'm going to do that up tight. Right. And now the thing you can't see, which I'll show you in a minute, is the bracket on the inside. So the bracket has to stay there permanent. And I'll need to take the fairing off again yet anyway. Yeah, I'll do that up quite reasonably tight. So that's Loctited. So it shouldn't ever come undone again. Okay, we'll take you out of this holder. Enough light. So Could turn the flash on, I suppose. Where are we? Anyway, it says that. Yeah. Bracket is a nut. As I said, this is an original bracket, but it did have a bolt going into it, so I screwed a bolt through from the other side so I can slip a nut on. I'd done that previously because it was hard to mount. They're fairing like this. If you watch the previous video, this bracket was originally on the fairing itself, and it was hard to hold it up and then get a bolt through and do it up. So I put a bolt through from the other side and put a nut on it. But it wouldn't really matter that much now. But yeah, because that bracket's now going to be on there permanent. Right, so that's on, and that's basically all for this video. I've got to copy that on the other side now. The other thing I did before I did any of this, before I went drilling holes, making brackets or anything, I put 2 more of the bolts in and done them up. That's to make sure this whole fairing's in the exact right place. Before I go drilling that other hole, because you don't want to go drilling that hole and then find out that when you go to put these other bolts in, the bolt holes don't line up because you drilled it in the wrong place. So yeah, whenever you're doing things like this, always make sure it's in the exact right place. And yeah, this slips in under here. I've got a metal tab under here, aluminium tab glassed into it. It just slips in behind it, so that holds all that in place. There's another plate in behind this one, because what I found was this piece of the frame was pushing in. So I also put another bracket behind the fiberglass of this one, just so it can't push in. Right, and okay, we'll leave it at that for the moment. And, yeah, as I said, I don't really like having exposed bolts, but yeah, it shouldn't look too out of place being an original bolt. And I'll paint that black as well with a brush, so it's not stand out. But yeah, hopefully it still looks neat and tidy. But yeah, it's all plenty secure. And yeah, as I explained in the previous video, this piece basically has to go on after all of these pieces go on, because as I said, you couldn't access the bolt before with the glove box on. You can't take the glove box off while the tank cover's on, etc, etc. So basically all of this has to go on, the tank cover has to go on, then it has to bolt in behind here on this bracket, the tank cover. These pieces clip into it. So yeah, I had to rearrange it so that you can just take this fairing off if you need to access spark plugs or whatever, exhaust, and yeah, not have to take the rest of the bike apart. Okay, leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Bye.